three fundamental things that I think are really key in recruitment. Number one, as an agency, we need to be really clear on our value proposition. We do it in sales. We might do it out to the marketplace, but do we do it in terms of attracting talent into our organization? So what's our value proposition? So what do we stand for? Why is it that someone would want to come and work for us? What makes us a standout? What makes us a good choice in terms of coming and working for our company? And I think now on Seek, there's almost 5,000 job applications in property management Australia-wide, which is frightening. And so those people are seeking and they're saying, like, why should I come and work for you? So the value proposition, the values and the culture of a company are absolutely critical. So that's the first thing that you've got to look at. And when you're clear on your value, do our values or do their values align with our values, right? Are we attracting people in that, because people come not just for money, not just for a job, but to contribute to something that is of a higher purpose.
Welcome back to another episode of the Property Management Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Now, imagine having all the HR and administration resources you need right now at your fingertips without the headache of having to create and manage them yourself. Not only that, making sure that they are also compliant with legislation as well. It'd be like having your very own team of experts working behind the scenes to support your business every step of the way. And even better yet, it's not going to cost you a small fortune to have them. We'll be exploring how this innovative approach is revolutionizing the way property management and real estate business owners of all sizes operate. So whether you're a seasoned business owner looking to streamline your operations or just starting out and wondering how the hell are you going to navigate the world of HR and administration, well, this episode is for you, and it's packed with valuable insights and information I promise you're not going to want to miss. Welcome to Love Your Business by Julie Davis, a trailblazer in coaching and workforce transformation in the real estate industry. Her aim is to simply support you in empowering your real estate business with tailor-made solutions that harness the power of the contribution compass. What's that, you might be asking? Well, head to a previous episode of the Property Management Podcast where Julie discusses everything you need to know about this powerful tool. I'm pretty sure it's episode 45. Now, inside Love Your Business, Julie and her team have curated a comprehensive set of tools and resources to meet your specific needs. And I've been inside and had a look around, and you are going to be blown away by the amount of HR and administration resources inside Love Your Business. It is like a business inside a business, and all you really need to do is download, copy, paste. They're all done there they're all there for you, from onboarding to performance management to offboarding people throughout, and just creating better running and operating teams in your business as well. Recruitment strategies and recruitment templates are in there as well. Anyway, I'm not going to keep talking about it. Take a listen to this episode, grab your favorite beverage or sit in a comfy spot and get ready to uncover the secrets to stress-free HR and administration. Let's dive on in. Julie, thank you so much for joining me on yet another episode of the Property Management Podcast. For those people who may not know you, and they'd have to be living under a rock not to know who you are in the real estate industry, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started doing all the amazing things that you're doing now?
Thanks, Kylie. It's a pleasure. And thanks again for the invitation. Yeah, well, I've been in the industry for about 3 decades now. So I started off, as a sales agent, moved into leadership training and coaching. And, for the last 10 to 15 years, I guess, we've been very foundational in terms of being experts in the industry on personality profiling and using that to build teams, to help guide our clients to be better leaders and to have better team retention and more accuracy in terms of their recruitment processes.
Which is, as we all know, anyone in property management right now, recruitment is actually a bit of a nightmare. It's really difficult. I don't have the solution to it. I've tried lots of different things, and I'm working with you as well with the profiling, which I absolutely love the profiling side of it. But before we dive into talking about about loving your business again, and one of the reasons that I don't love my business personally at times is because of the difficulties building teams, retaining teams, the issues that you get in teams. And is that what you find a lot with everyone that you work with and coach? And
Absolutely. You know, the dream of when you start a business and the reality become quite different. You tend to get off track. We tend to, spend a lot of time in crisis management, and, we don't have the opportunity to really work, on our business. We're so entrenched in working in our business. And you're totally right, Kylie, is that, we're losing some really good people from our industry, and they are people that are burnt out, that have been in an environment that is not necessarily supportive in terms of their career goals and their pathway. And I think it comes down to one really simple premise, and that is to have the right people in the right seats. So I think really the key issue is recruitment. Absolutely it is, and getting good quality people. And there's a good reason for that. Where we sit as an industry, it's a very low benchmark in terms of entrance into the industry. A lot of people may potentially go, I'll use this as a stopgap till I find something better. But I think one of the really critical things that we're looking at is the retention within our teams. And it's keeping good people, particularly we've got a lot of property managers. The statistics are frightening of the good people that we're losing. And a lot of that is that the provenance in terms of the experience that they have that we will no longer have in our industry. And I think what it comes down to fundamentally is having the right people in the right seats with the right tools and the right support. And I think we see so many good people in our industry fail because they're not set up for success. And that's one thing that we found in terms of all of the research that we've done and working in the industry for so long, many, many conversations, is that are we really equipping people for the success pathway that they need?
That's absolutely amazing. You've hit the nail on the head there. So, well, let's talk about some of the solutions that you've come up with that can support business owners, because I think, and in particular, I love the product that you've got, the Love Your Business. And, it is, you do go through ebbs and flows where, everything's going pretty good. And then, somebody will want to leave. Then, you've got to start almost from scratch again. And that can be a bit of a roller coaster for business owners. But I love the solution that you've come up with to help us navigate the entire, recruitment, training, onboarding process. If you are anything like me, you think you know your rent roll numbers. Well, I thought I did until I had a rent roll health check, and I was quite literally shocked. The money I was leaving on the table was astounding, and this is not something that I'm proud to admit. There were missed management fees, let fees, advertising, and lease renewal fees not being charged, and properties even without bonds. And all of this was happening despite monthly audits being conducted in my business. So how did I uncover all these gaps in my valuable income? Well, I had a rent roll due diligence from my good friend Tazi, aka the Rent Roll Queen and founder of the Tazi Way, a specialist in rent roll due diligence, business valuation, and management rights. The Tazi Way is the innovative force driving the real estate industry. With 25 years of business and real estate acumen, they find gaps and risks in your agency to find undiscovered value. If you'd like to book your business in for a rent roll due diligence, head to the link in the show notes and mention That Property Mum for a 10% discount.
Thanks, Kylie. Look, this has been like probably 12 months and probably well over 100,000 hours putting together the resources that we have in Love Your Business. Now, the reason being, and if we look at, why people are leaving our industry, or if you're not equipped in terms of having the resources and tools of, creating that induction process into an agency, which quite sadly, there's maybe only 30% of our industry that actually have a formatted, regimented induction process. Now, it's absolutely critical, and you've got a deep understanding now of the contribution compass and understanding the 4 energies with 4 very distinct communication styles. So when we introduce people into our agency, we need to understand how do we need to do that for them in terms of their preferred learning style, their communication style. Because you could have somebody that comes into your organization that it has very good adaptability in terms of, reading a training manual and going through. But then on the other side of the compass is someone like both of us, who we actually need to have either visual guidance through it in terms of maybe videos for me, or auditory in terms of conversations, maybe having a buddy, or they maybe have an experiential learning style where they like to just sit and muddle through themselves. So it's really key in terms of that we understand that. If I go back a step, Kylie, in terms of going right back to the recruiting process, and where we've relied so heavily in the past is on a skill set that people may have had. Now, it can be a good or a bad thing. Sometimes that we have bad traits that then are transferred into our business, or okay, I'll go back 3 fundamental things that I think are really key in recruitment. Number 1, as an agency, we need to be really clear on our value proposition. We do it in sales. We might do it out to the marketplace, but do we do it in terms of attracting talent into our organization? So what's our value proposition? So what do we stand for? Why is it that someone would want to come and work for us? What makes us a standout? What makes us a good choice in terms of coming and working for our company? And I think now on Seek, there's almost 5,000 job applications in property management Australia-wide, which is frightening. And so those people are seeking and they're saying, like, why should I come and work for you? So the value proposition, the values and the culture of a company are absolutely critical. So that's the first thing that you've got to look at. And when you're clear on your value, do our values or do their values align with our values, right? Are we attracting people in that, because people come not just for money, not just for a job, but to contribute to something that is of a higher purpose. So that's the first thing. The second thing that we look at is, are people naturally attuned to the role? Yes, skills play a critical part in your decision-making process, but what we want to see is, where will somebody really expend their natural talent and their energy? Where is someone actually going to be energized within your organization versus relying on a learned skill, which could take them up to 5 times longer with less accuracy? So we look at that in our profile, will clearly indicate where they're going to show up to be the best value and contribution within your business. And the third thing in your interview process is to skills test, because now, particularly with ChatGPT, we look at in terms of where somebody's actually used AI to write their application. It's going to happen more and more. And I've actually just been judging some industry awards, and it is actually very interesting to see. A couple of those have come through on ChatGPT. It's very obvious because it's too many fancy words, right? So we look at the skills test. So let's say somebody goes, oh, yes, I'm very proficient on property me. It's a matter then of sitting down and saying, okay, show me at what level are you at? So should you be a successful candidate, we actually need to support you and guide you and to equip you with the next level of skills. And it's the same with any of the key programs that you might run. So we get an understanding, because if they've passed 1 and 2, they're a great fit culturally, that their energy is actually really aligned to that position, which are probably the 2 key things, because skills can be taught. But we need to have a benchmark of where they're sitting at that particular time.
Fantastic. So let's talk about then, what is actually Love Your Business? What is it? And what tools, resources, what is specifically inside it that is going to help businesses? There's been so much talk of stress, overwhelm, and burnout in property management lately. Do you want to know how I overcame all of that? Yes, I hit rock bottom multiple times, but I got myself a virtual assistant. Actually, not just 1, but 3. But I didn't just get any VA, I got a PMVA. What are they? Well, they are the most well-trained in the business. And not only that, you also have a backup VA, so that essentially your business is never without admin support ever again. And my health, time, and business has never looked back. Your PMVA can take care of tasks like rent arrears, lease preparation and renewals, maintenance follow-up, routine inspection bookings, data entry, audits, prospecting, inbox management, and so much more. And the best part of implementing a PMVA in my business was that it freed up my time and my team's time to take care of important things like customer service. What makes me feel so safe is that PMVA is owned by Tiffany Botel, both here and in the Philippines, making my data secure and giving me more control over the VA arrangement. So head to the link in the show notes to book in your discovery call with Lady Boss Tiff.
Yeah, great. Kylie, if we look at those as steps 1, 2, 3, which are really critical, where is step number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth? A lot of the time that actually doesn't exist, right? So the whole premise of Love Your Business is to be able to provide a framework for business owners that will guide them through that process. So within Love Your Business, it is segmented into different aspects and areas of our business, whether it might be, leadership, and what are the key things in terms of leadership? How do we induct? How do we have a recruiting interview? So we've got policies and procedures from A to Z. There's probably well over 100 documents in there. How do you actually conduct a recruiting interview? What's the documentation you send out to people who are unsuccessful? What are the steps that you need to take from a HR perspective in terms of you introducing that client? We've got a workplace health and safety, diversity and inclusion, which is a really big key subject, particularly when we look at the new law Australia-wide in terms of what's the environment that we need to create. So to make sure that you're compliant with those rules. Leadership, onboarding, we also have in terms of, and each of these areas have been contributed by experts. So there's my portion in there, and I consider that I'm an expert on all things Contribution Compass, and which Contribution Compass is layered right through, because we would have the expectation that you've taken those critical steps in the first place. We have Kristen from Ono Legal to come in terms of to add value in terms of contributing articles, etc., and frameworks for you within there in terms of the legal aspects. We have the Sadar Academy, which is applied directorship program, which I'm currently going through. So it's 11 months of how do you be a good director? How do you fulfill your roles as a director? So there's a lot there on board governance, and in terms of what hats do you wear as a business owner? What are your obligations? So we've got, so it goes through, I think it's probably about 10 different sections in there that we go through. But basically is to equip you as a business owner, but from that step 4 onwards. And every month we put in new information. We've got a HR specialist. It's all been overseen by an organizational psychologist. To me, I guess it's a give back to the industry, because I know how hard it is being a business owner. And I also realized that, at this level, I wanted to make it like absolutely ridiculously affordable. And so we've got it for that level 1 of Love Your Business. It's $59 a month, or it's less than $600 a year. So it is such a small investment to actually get that information.
There's a lot of value in there. Oh my goodness.
It's amazing. Look, it's a month, and I've had advice from people who are in there to say, Julie, that is ridiculous. But you know what? It's such valuable information. And if that alone could equip you for one better hire in a year, and you've got better team retention, the return on investment is like absolutely mind-blowing. So we've also introduced the enterprise model, which goes one step further. Now, there's a lot of talk within our industry of how do we actually manage people. So we've partnered with a prop tech company, which is called Prosperex, and we have created team engagement platform. And what that does, and accompanied with that, is a whole learning management system as well. It's personalized to your brand, and you actually can monitor, manage, and performance manage every team member. You can also put in there in terms of knowing when they've done their onboarding training, so you can put your training in there as well. And so there's certain modules that they will need to complete. And so on their dashboard and on your dashboard, it will show you at what level they're at. It will also give any specific training that you can delegate to them. Now, a really key thing in terms of feedback is really, really important within an organisation. And so we've got, I think there's, well over or close to 100 different surveys that you can put out to your team. So that's an onboarding survey, performance management survey, and some of those surveys can also become anonymous as well. So we always have a lot of team members who would love to give feedback, but they may be a little bit frightened to put their hand up. But as a business owner, it's absolutely critical that you have that feedback. So that enables you to measure and manage. It has one-on-one performance management in there as well. And also we look in terms of growth for that person and what are their goals and how can we equip them to get to that next level. It's really such an incredible product, and it will be made specifically for the real estate industry. So we're super. That's going to launch early October. Love Your Business is live now, so you can go to our website, juliedavis.com.au, and click on Love Your Business, and all of the information's there. Where can you add value to our industry, and where can you add contribution in terms of your part as an industry expert into Love Your Business as well? So it's not all about me. It's all about, encapsulates the whole area of your business in every.
And like you said, the return on investment there, if you can retain, recruit well, is crazy. And so that's all the template letters, the resources, the checklists. It's like a little HR department all in one. And I know I have in the past spent a lot of money on HR resources, employment agreements, and performance reviews and all that sort of stuff. So that's all included in the.
It is, and you can download it, and we put it into a Word doc, so you can put your branding on it, make it your own, alter it as you need be. It's really just such a massive gift, to our industry. We've put a lot of investment into it, but we want to get that out to as many people as possible at a really super I just think it's crazy, but that's what we decided to do. And of course, then we add that extra layer of value with the enterprise model. We will also have open office once a month, where if you've got HR questions, we're going to have a HR person on there for you. And we have a masterclass every month as well. So if we look at it in terms of, we've got Love Your Business, which is a reset, then to level up and go to that next level, which is really in an interactive platform that is going to make a monumental difference in your business in terms of your people management, which of course your people are your best asset. And we need to have a framework where we can lead and manage, motivate and reward in terms of having that in one place. But also, we've got hundreds of learning modules that are both real estate focused and not. So you just let us know what sort of learning modules you want, and we'll provide all of them for you.
That's incredibly generous of you, and also, time saving. And like I said at the start, I don't know the answers or the solutions to staffing and team building and recruitment, but I think this very well might be that solution a lot of us are looking for. And, for me personally, if I can end that merry-go-round, that revolving door of people coming through my business, I would sleep a lot better at night time. So, which is, I guess, what it's all about.
Yeah. And there is no silver bullet. There is no just a quick fix, but there are layers of different things that you can put in. And I think one of the key things, and we've had the privilege of working with both your businesses, Kylie, in terms of if we can have a better understanding of our people, and we know that how to make those people feel valued. There's many layers in that. It's not like do a profile and that's the answer. It's far from the truth. Okay. But it's one piece of the puzzle that is going to help you make better decisions and a better framework in terms of how do you mitigate as much risk as you possibly can? Because the true cost of replacing a team member is about 1.5 times their annual salary. But when we look in terms of culturally within an organisation, every single time we add a team member, exit a team member, dynamically that team shifts. And we need to have the adaptability, and we need to have that, I guess when I look at contribution compass, it becomes a DNA in your framework, and we give you all of the tools in terms of, and the resources. So, in our Love Your Business level 1, there's a training platform of 22 modules of that deep dives into understanding your team and the framework, and there's stuff there about risk mitigation. Like, there is just so much in there, Kylie. It's just, and I think even the level 2, you can have up to 10 team members, and it's under $500 a month in terms of having that whole platform, which is live data. It gives you, every tool that you could conceivably need in terms of having a fully engaged team.
I'm not even going to ask you my usual next question, which is, what is a personal development tool or resource? Because I think your Love Your Business is the tool or resource that people, business owners, should be using for their personal development and their team development as well. I'm not even going to ask that question. If people want to find out more about it, what's the best way? Can they book in for a demo? What's the easiest way for them?
And we're just doing our, I think our third edition of our website, which should be, it's up and running, but it's still got to be tweaked. But they can go on and they can book a call with me. They can have a look at Love Your Business. We will have some demo overviews in there in the next week or two in terms of doing that. But we've got a fairly comprehensive overview. And as I said, the investment, I think the investment in terms of just even level 1, you're going to get 100 times return. There is no question in my mind whatsoever. And I think it's an absolute essential thing that every single business should invest in.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And thank you for all of the contribution that you give our industry, Kylie. It's just a pleasure to actually witness your give back to our industry.
Thank you so much. One thing I dread doing is chasing up rent arrears and debt collection. It takes up valuable time and it can often lead to conflict. But it is a necessary evil when you are running a property management business. But there is an easier way to make sure your tenants' rent is paid on time and in advance, and it's called RentPay. RentPay is a secure and simple to use payment platform that saves agents time and money with fast, accurate receipting while making life better for renters. To top it all off, you'll never have to worry about dishonor fees or unknown deposits again. How good is that? Cleared funds are deposited straight into your bank account in a single daily payment with accurate receipting and reference numbers auto-assigned, and it's fully compatible with all trust accounting systems. It's a super flexible payment option for tenants who can pay rent in multiple ways, including direct debit, credit card, or instantly pay with Payer ID. Fees are minimal, and RentPay even helps with the rent arrears process by automating reminders to renters when payments are due or missed. If you are currently paying large bank fees, struggling with constant dishonors because the funds aren't cleared when their funds land in your trust, or wasting time chasing up unknown payments, I encourage you to book in a free demo with RentPay and give yourself and your renters an easier way to pay rent. Can I ask you a quick favour before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.